to my review / discussions for this week's Bleach Manga chapter 514. So let's get into this. This was a good chapter of Bleach here today, and it gave us good explanations to the whole blut vene, how he got out the jail, and at the end was like, what the heck is going on here? Because this was very, very interesting. So I'm going to just try to summarize quickly with this and give you my thoughts and opinions on this whole thing. So Bach is getting attacked by the whole Rezaitsu by Ichigo, right? And so he ends up getting hurt. It looked like his arm was gone. And I'm like, what's going on here? And so he ends up getting out, thinks about the blut vene thing again. So he tried to test it, basically. He goes in, attacks Ichigo Kurosaki. Ichigo Kurosaki blocks, but that don't even mean anything. Like, he just went right through it. He still got hit. But the thing is, his arm had blut vene in it as well. And so he's like, it was my mistake. Because I let Kurage basically fight you. You know, I shouldn't have let a pure Quincy fight you or imprison you, because apparently what that did was awaken the Rezaitsu, or brought back the memories of his Rezaitsu inside of him. Because how he got the gel basically was that he absorbed the Rezaitsu of Kurage's, you know, that gel. He absorbed the gel basically, and the Rezaitsu went into his arm, and it brought back memories basically. And so basically what this is saying here is that Ichigo is a Quincy. And the thing is, Kurage's gel cannot detain Quincy's. It can't. It can get any other enemy besides Quincy. So that right there in itself shows that he, in fact, is a Quincy. And so Bach is like, I don't know. This is weird. And the thing, he doesn't know about his mother. He ends up actually saying something about that. He's like, you don't even know about your own mother, fool. And so he was all shocked by that, because they didn't show the picture. And think he's going to try to take him back by force, because he's not trying to surrender. He's like, I'll force you to surrender and drag you back, because he's not like, I'm not going to just keep freaking fighting with you. And then Ichigo's all surprised by that, because he's like, what are you talking about, basically, and stuff. And then he's like, I'll tell you once you get to Red and Rich. And so Bach goes in and attack Ichigo once again, but then Ichigo blocks it looks like, and then he's like, this time I'll stab you, don't think you can dodge it with blut vene, I'll release my power. And he's about to go all out. It seems like he's about to just say, forget this crap, you're going down, because I'm not waiting any longer. But then all of a sudden, this black thing that was right next to Yuha, and it just stops him all of a sudden. And he's like, it's time, your majesty. And apparently Hashwald, the one that it has intervened and stopped that, wherever that black stuff was, he must have summoned that. Well, I'm not sure what the heck that was. And so he's like, you can't stay outside the Shattered Benrick area anymore. So I'm like, what's going on here? What's he talking about? And so he's like, you need to please return to Vandenrich. He actually stops him. And the thing is, he's like, oh crap, Aizen, because there should be some time. And the thing is, Sosuke Aizen he managed to slightly confuse my perception. So he messed with them somehow. This sucker's in the chair, and he still did something. I'm like, how do you do that? You're like, what? So it's like, okay, he's just leaving now. He's trying to go, but then Ichigo's like, wait, don't you go, you mother. And so he's like, you don't think I'll let you go after what you did with the Soul Society? I said stop. And he's still walking. He's like, get out of here, boy. Get out of here, boy. And so he was like, I'm serious again, with the one eye thing going in. And then this what surprised me right here in this chapter. Hashwald turns around, it's a cling, Ichigo's sword's broken. And I'm like, woo, what? So criminal, fool. This sucker just slashed he broke his sword in one swing. That tells you this son of a gun is freaking powerful. Hashwald is powerful. I'm like, whoa. Alright. And so at the end of this chapter, freaking Bach is like, farewell Ichigo Kurosaki. One day, I'll come back to get you. Heal your wounds and wait. My son, born in the darkness. And I'm like, yo, son, what are you talking about? Like, your son. I'm like, oh, what is happening here? So, what you're telling me is that Yubei Masaki, if she didn't do it, and what, now you're the main character's son? What's up with this? And people were saying that there had to be some relation to him and stuff, so, well, here you go. So, the thing is, I was thinking, since I heard this, because, I mean, maybe there could be mistranslation, but if he's really saying my son, if he's really his son and stuff, it's just like, what is a Sheen then? What then is a Sheen not like he's not his father, so he just must have been there just to help Masaki or something. Like, so something must have happened, and Masaki is a Quincy. Or at least it seems like she must be a Quincy. And the thing is, I'm thinking Ichigo is just a pure. He was just a pure Quincy, but then when he got stabbed or something, that's when it awakened his Shinigami powers, or maybe that's what could have happened. Because that seems sensible, maybe. Because, I mean, he has strong spiritual pressure from the beginning anyways. And so he just got stabbed that awakens Shinigami powers because he took Rukia. So that just made him turn into a substitute Shinigami. But he was alright, a Quincy from the beginning. So it's just like, well, at least what I'm thinking, that's what it was. But like I said, it's very weird in what he said right there. And I want to know what's going on with hashwald. I want to see more of him. Like I said, that one attack just surprised me because he broke his sword in one. It's not easy breaking someone's sword in one swing. You have to have more Rezaitsu than someone to break someone's sword like that. You know, as stayed with freaking Kenpachi. So it's like you broke your sword like it was nothing. So I'm like, what's going on here? How powerful are you? And what was that black thing? Because I was like, what was that thing? Because he was surprised. And like I said, or unless that was just Aizen's little perception thing that was messing with him. I don't know. Like I said, this stuff was just very, very interesting in this chapter. It brings up more questions than necessarily answering some. Well, like to answer some of the blut vene thingy, because like I said, I mean, wonder how he got the cage, which is, I mean, I don't know. I was hoping it could have just been him and the hollow. I don't know. I want hollow mask. You go. You know, I'm not gonna lie. But this is an interesting explanation to how he got out the cage. He was absorbed Kurege's gel, but then like I mean, because that's just must because he just awakened after that fat and he's absorbed it, so he didn't necessarily break it. That gel was legit. Kurege's gel is legit. That crap, you can't get out of that, you know. He's lucky he's a freaking Quincy. Otherwise, that wouldn't have worked. But yeah, he must be some type of pure Quincy. And also, this also goes into the fact of Young Money Jeezy's theory that he had in this video that talking about how anybody can have like Quincy powers and all this other thing. Because the thing is, this wrong card had Quincy power before, and not Kurege, but Yubak was basically saying I should have brought a random Iran card to stop you instead of Kurege up here Quincy, because this wouldn't have his blut vene would have never activated if he wasn't facing against a pure Quincy. But since he's facing against a pure Quincy, that's how his blut vene activated. So if he was facing against a hollow / maybe Quincy, it would have been something different. He wouldn't have this power right now because now he's having problems. And I wonder what Yubak was about to do exactly. He said he's about to activate his full power. Like I said, there's a lot of questions I'm asking at this point because a lot of stuff was just very interesting in this chapter. Really, it's very, very interesting chapter. I'm looking forward to seeing what's gonna be next because they're retreating right now. Because at the end of the day, they're retreating. Like they can't stay there very long. Though I'm wondering if they're gonna like signal the others to leave because it's like those two are just leaving. Like, okay, let's go. We're gonna forget about the other suckers. They're gonna die. Like what's going on here? But like I said, it was just very interesting that Yubak could possibly be Ichigo's father. And he's like, you are not the father. And then freaking Yubak's like, yes, I got the main character. Yeah, in your face. And she's like, no, Masaki, why, man? Why you have to do this to me? But yeah, so this has been my reviews / discussions for this week's Bleach chapter review. Leave your comments below and tell me what you think of the chapter, what interested you the most, because like I said, hashwald is pretty freaking interesting. I want to see more of this. This whole story, like I said, Bleach is freaking awesome right now. Just loving it. So yeah, leave your comments below, tell me what you think, like this review / discussion, subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more from me. So yeah, it's been Thabreakmaster, and until then, break out.